You watch all of them. All the best hunting shows on YouTube, the top DIY do-it-yourself hunters, and they're all great. But here's the reality of the situation. Some years you're going to have off years. Some years you're going to have things that don't work out in your favor. You're going to miss, you're going to blow some hunts. If you're hunting this late in the year, you've been to your top 3 overlooked spots 3 or 4 times. You went for your Hail Mary shot 3 weeks ago. All of that's over now. You know, I tagged my buck in November. I was fortunate to get it done pretty early this year, earlier than normal. And I have saved 1 doe tag till the end of the year. That way I could go out and hunt and make videos and take photos and stuff. And, you know, a lot of things I like to do. A big part of my hunting season is getting video and taking photos. So I haven't filled this last doe tag. Well, I now have 7 days left in the season, and I have waited to the point where I'm not sure if I'll get it done. So I'm in the same boat. I feel like I've thrown my Hail Mary a couple weeks ago, but we're gonna keep our head in the game. We're gonna stay focused, and we're not gonna give up. We're not just gonna fumble around in the dark. We're gonna hunt all the way till the end of the season if we have to, and we're gonna give it 100%. So you guys stay tuned. Those of you that are subscribed, thank you so much. Those of you that aren't, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button or that subscribe button if you find this information helpful, I would greatly appreciate it. That would be the best way you could support the channel. And also, I have memberships out now. YouTube is going to let me earn through channel memberships, and I'll go over here in a second towards the end of the hunt, but what that entails. But you know, it's not for everybody. I get it, but you know, if you guys want to, I'm going to put a few extra things, some behind the scenes things. I have some big plans where I would like this channel to go and what I want it to grow into, given the situation that we have found ourselves in, and hopefully the good Lord blesses us with that. So like always, I want to give all the thanks and glory to God above. Without him, none of this would be possible. And let's go gig one, boy. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I'm easing down the top of this little ditch. So here in Indiana, probably across the Midwest, I'm not really sure, but right along these farm ditches, I kind of have a berm pushed up where water will flow from the drain tile down into this ditch. So it's higher than the rest of the elevation, and the deer like to lay on top of it so they can see. So we had a little bit of fresh snow yesterday. Weather cooled back off a little bit, so as I'm going down the top of this ditch, I'm really looking for fresh tracks. I did see some right by the parking lot coming in that were fresh within the last 12 hours. So as I get to where I can see in spots, I'll glass and so on and so forth. I'm pretty sure you guys know the drill, but yeah, let's keep rolling and see if we can find something. So this is the same place with the raccoon hunter and all the coyotes where I was at the other night. So what I noticed when that raccoon hunter was out here is he stayed in the timber in the swamp, river bottoms obviously, and he didn't come out to the switchgrass. He didn't go any of the thickets, you know, the little silver maple thickets, things like that. So where this ditch line comes up, it's just switchgrass, CRP, canary grass, all that jumble of mess that goes in with it. Now this right here, that is a giant cottonwood. That is impressive. And that's the thing, dude, like, if you feel like your season's just gone, you still, is this open? Yeah, if you feel like your season's gone or your season's over, still get out there. You know, this is the best time to scout, is right when the season's over, because that's when you're gonna still be able to see sign. You know, it'll be a little bit fresher, it'll be easier to see. You try scouting in late spring or summertime up here, might as well forget it. It gets so thick that hard enough to walk through, much less scout. So get out there, chase some rabbits. Coyotes seem to be an issue. That is something I've noticed this year. I found 4 coyote kills this year, which I don't know how many coyote kills you guys are used to finding in this area, but I've never found 4 in 1 year. So get out there, shoot some coyotes, you know. Whatever your game laws are here, I think you could pack a rifle and bust a coyote as long as it's coyote season. Like I said, I'm not a legal expert, so do not do things based on what I said, but you know, make sure it's okay with your local game laws and exercise safety. I walk up on quite a few coyotes, you know, I'd say once or twice a year I get definitely within gun range. Every now and then I'll get within bow range, but I don't know if you've ever tried drawing a bow on a coyote without much cover. It's pretty difficult. Alright, so I found this fresh little trail running up onto that ditch I was talking about, that bank. Coming out of some bedding. It's not very far, probably only going about 400 yards from where the parking lot would be. But it's fresh tracks. The wind's not perfect for this situation. But I think if they do come down the top of that bank, I can get a shot before they wind me. If they decide to stay out in this fire lane, it's not gonna happen, but it's like some of them do. We'll see what happens maybe as it gets darker. My thermals will pull down in that ditch behind me, I'm hoping, but this time of year with the temperature the way it is, thermals aren't very strong, so remember that. Don't depend on an October thermal in late December. Learn from me, always clean out a spot where you're sitting. Don't blow a big deer like I did. Didn't clean out my spot. Tried to roll up to draw my bow a couple years ago. Flew out here. Alright. Hope you guys can see me, the sun's in my face, but I'm gonna sit right here just below this bank. I can see out in front of me. Then I can see if anything's coming down. I still got a little bit of cover, but no. I'm 42, still pretty good shape I feel like, but 42 I like to have a tree kind of behind my right side if I can, depending on the situation. That way I can kind of push off with my shoulder off that tree to get drawn. Drawing your bow seems simple until you're in a position where it's not. Yeah, guys, like, I'm out here with nothing. These pants I'm wearing I got on sale for like 12 bucks. I think this hoodie's probably the most expensive thing I got, you know, from Matthews, whatever it is, 50, 60 bucks. But I got my Thorogood work boots on. They're expensive, but they're work boots. Like, so, and you can do it. I don't buy expensive camo. I don't, you know, I spend a lot on my bow and my arrows and my sight. Everything else, like, if I don't get it on sale, I probably don't buy it. So on these late season hunts, you just gotta hunt a little smarter. And I don't put my toe warmers in until I get to where I'm hunting. And I put my toe warmers in my boots because you'll start sweating in the wall. And once those toe warmers get wet, they'll get like a rock and they'll quit working. But you don't have to be making $100,000 a year, $120,000 a year. I mean, hell, it seems like $100,000 ain't even a lot of money now, but yeah, you can do it with nothing. If you got the passion for it, just get out there and hunt. And I think you'll be surprised where you find success. And for you new guys, you know, that are wanting to get into hunting, don't start off with Seek 1 and Lee Ellis. You know, you work your way up there. Watch some of these guys that are just killing. Like, there's a lot of great YouTube shows of guys that are just keeping it super simple. And once you decide you want to make that commitment to hunting big bow, which is a commitment. It's not something you just do. Once you decide you want to make that commitment, then you start watching a lot of these. You know, like all the THP guys for sure are killers. But Lee Ellis, one's a killer. Do-it-yourself hunter, both them guys are killers. Man, I can't remember the younger guy's name, but that Daniel, that dude's a beast. So don't get unreal expectations, and then once you start getting your skills honed in, then start doing what these guys are talking about. These guys are, unless you fully understand hunting big whitetails, some of it's kind of hard to miss, and there's little steps maybe that don't get mentioned that you'll miss. But anyways, we're rambling. Let's kill a deer. So I'm sitting on the dike next to this riverbank. The wind's, the dike is running east to west, west to east, however you want to look at it. And the wind's blowing west. I'll have to look up the degrees, but it's more towards the south, so it's blowing down this ditch line, but it's blowing it back into the water. And then once it gets in there in between the ditches, I'm sure it follows it down however long. Now, that's not saying that scent won't bounce in and bounce out, but the point I'm getting at is this is called giving them the wind. So I'm basically giving them the wind to come from the way I think they're going to come from, and rolling the dice that the wind is going to do what I'm hoping it will do in order for me to get a shot when I need it to happen. And that's sometimes it works, most of the time it don't, but what are you going to do, man? Starting to feel like deer season again. Holy cow. Well, that worked like a charm. I actually had a deer right here. You couldn't see in the camera probably, I don't know, 12 steps away, but it was facing me. I wasn't going to be able to draw without spooking it. That one was coming up, I'm guessing 20 yards, somewhere right around there. And so I decided to take that one, drew on it and shot it. Got it, dude. Must have hit it high in the spine. I don't know if I hit a limb or something, but obviously went up there and just finished her off. Great big old doe, just what we were looking for. Alright. I'm gonna get my stuff picked up and then we will go take a look before it gets too dark. This is a great big old fat Indiana nanny. I don't know how much she weighs. Pretty good bit probably. But as you can see, got it done. Kind of a urban style type hunting. Not urban style, but kind of a guerrilla style type hunting, if you will. It's just late season, getting in these little tight corridors. They're moving. It's almost like picking a door, you know. Which door are they going to come out of today? You got options A, B, and C, and I saw those fresh tracks going in there and coming out of there. So I had a feeling that they'd be going that way again this evening, and this time we were right. This is a big old fat nanny. This is exactly what we were waiting on, what we wanted for the end of the year. So I'm gonna head back and get the deer cart, come get this thing out of here. Thank you guys for watching. This is awesome. Glad you came along. If it helped, hit that like and subscribe button, and please don't forget about my channel memberships. So you guys take care, and as always, God bless. Here's something I'd like to point out real quick. I know that some of these hunting laws and things can be confusing, and I'm not a lawyer by any means, but this is kind of how I interpret it. So I usually carry temporary transport tags in my bag. I was cleaning my hunting bag out the other day, left them at home. Well, my phone is dead, so I can't check it in online. I'm sorry. Let's see. I got a new phone, or I have a different phone, and I haven't swapped everything over, so all my information and everything's on my other phone, so I can't check this deer in online, because I don't know my passwords are all linked to my other phone, you know. So I've talked to Amber. She's going to get the deer cart and bring my other. Amber's going to get the deer cart, so when she gets here, I'm going to tell her where I'm at. She's going to bring the deer cart over here, because Indiana law states that you cannot be out of sight of an animal after you harvest it without it being tagged. So I feel like if I left in this situation, even went up to the road, which is only about 400 yards away, I would still be out of sight of that animal. Therefore, I'd be violating the law. So be thinking about those things. It seems harmless to go up to the road and wait. And there's a lot of DNR that may have a way they view that situation. I don't know, because I'm a firm believer if you do one thing for one person, then it needs to be pretty much that way across the board, given exceptional situations. So just want to throw that out there for you guys. Anybody that may be wondering what to do and you're not quite sure, follow the law to the T the best you can would be my advice.